Lucid Praxis presents Flamma, the gladiator who refused freedom. In an empire that devoured lives for spectacle, one man fought not for glory, not for liberty, but for something far more elusive. This is the story of Flamma, the gladiator who defied death and denied freedom. He was known as Flamma, Latin for flame. A name earned not merely by the speed or fury of his attacks, but by the way he seemed to burn in the hearts of those who saw him fight. He lived for 30 years and entered the arena 34 times. Against all odds, he survived. Flamma was likely born in Syria, a region rich with Roman military activity and rebellion. His early life remains a mystery. Like most gladiators, history records his victories, not his childhood. Whether he was a prisoner of war, a criminal sentenced to death, or a slave sold into combat, we cannot say. But we do know that he was trained as a Secutor, a heavy, relentless class of gladiator. Gladiators trained in Ludi, or gladiator schools. There they endured brutal discipline and unrelenting drills, designed not just to create skilled fighters, but to strip away identity, to forge men into weapons. The Secutor, with his rounded helmet, curved shield, and short gladius, was tailored to fight the nimble Retiarius, who carried only a net and trident. A Secutor's armour was heavy and hot, designed to protect the head and neck while exposing very little. The helmet's small eye holes made vision narrow and movement limited. The fight between a Secutor and a Retiarius was not just a duel. It was a performance of opposites: brute force versus agility, chase versus evasion, storm versus snare. To the Roman people, the games were more than entertainment. They were ritual. They reinforced Roman values: strength, endurance, dominance. The arena was a theatre of power, where death was art and blood was currency. The inscription reads, Flamma, Secutor, lived 30 years, fought 34 times, victorious 21, freed 4 times, refused 4 times. This tells us 2 things. First, Flamma was an exceptional fighter. And second, he did what few gladiators ever did. He turned down his freedom. Not once, but 4 times. Freedom in Rome was symbolized by the Rudis, a wooden sword presented to a gladiator after an outstanding performance, a ceremonial mark of manumission. For a gladiator, it was a dream, to survive long enough to earn your Rudis, to walk away a free man. But Flamma, he rejected it 4 separate times. Why would a man refuse liberation? Was he addicted to the thrill of combat? Had he lost the sense of a world outside the arena? Or had he become something else entirely? A man who found meaning in the blood-soaked theatre that had once enslaved him? To many Romans, gladiators were both despised and admired. Heroes and slaves. A successful fighter could receive adulation, fame, and even romantic attention. But he was still property. The games blurred the lines between fame and servitude. Perhaps Flamma recognized the illusion of freedom in a society built on dominance. He was not the first to enter the arena, nor the most famous. Spartacus led a revolt. Commodus fought for spectacle. Flamma fought, again and again. 34 times. Gladiators rarely lived past 10 fights. Flamma defied not just opponents, but statistics, time, and expectation. Archaeology tells us much about how gladiators lived and died. Mass graves show evidence of precise professional injuries. These men were not wild. They were trained, disciplined, and often better fed than the urban poor. Yet their lives were always on loan to fate. Flamma's body was laid to rest not by family nor state, but by fellow fighters. His tombstone was a gesture of fraternity from those who understood his struggle, and perhaps his choice. In a world of chains, Flamma chose the fire. Not because he had to, but because in the arena, in the sand, steel, and screams, He found something few men ever do. Purpose. And in that purpose, he burned. Victoria, non libertas. Victory, not freedom. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more from Lucid Praxis.